What's up, Rockstars and Lambs? It's Josh Cooley coming to you from Studio J-Ray. I wanted to take the time to say hello, and I didn't have a video last week, at all. I'm really, sad about that. I didn't realize that I missed it. It's funny because as the last 3 months have gone by, and I've been in my first quarter at Rockstars and Lambs, the videos became less and less. And I'm not losing interest in doing the videos. I just get tired, I come home, and there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of number crunching that I do, and I still keep a social calendar. But I was talking today with a friend of mine. I haven't advertised big-wise. I haven't advertised and done an ad campaign since November. And I opened a salon in that time period and have been just as successful and done exactly the same in business as I have, if not more. And we were talking about consistency, and I was trying to compare Starbucks. Starbucks doesn't have print ads. They don't do it. And when you go into the bulletin board and you try to put stuff and promote events, they only want non-profit events that are posted at Starbucks. But Starbucks is all word of mouth business, and it's because it's their consistency. People go there for consistency. As I've looked at coffee shops, and especially the coffee shop and the restaurant model, people tend to not go because it's inconsistent. But they do like corporate stuff because it has to be consistent, because that's what makes a corporation. I'm not defending big box. I'm not saying that corporate America is the way for everybody, because it's not. My parents made their success in life through franchising in corporate America, and a lot of those ideals, are fixated in my brain as part of business. And so, Rockstars and Lambs, even though it is a one-man color atelier, it's a workshop, I still list myself as creative director because the option to grow with the business and to have a staff is always there. And I don't think it's going to happen this year, and it may not happen next year, because I would like to grow the business and have a bigger building at one point. But I really want to take my time and invest in this one. So, point being, consistency is key. And if you're somebody like me who hasn't had a mass ad since last year, I've been 9 months with no ad. And I'm doing just fine. And I'm very happy and thankful to all of you that have invested in my career over the last 6 years, and especially bringing me to the success of having my own storefront. I think the model for a private studio works here. I have 3 or 4 friends in Los Angeles that have salons that are only private studios, where there's only 2 chairs and 2 sinks, and you go in and you see your stylist. And sometimes they have high-profile people that don't really want to be seen. I think in this area we have some high-profile people. I have a lot of politicians, I have a lot of bankers, I have a lot of bigwigs in this town. And even though I have big picturesque windows, I don't have other people in the salon listening to our business conversations or listening to them vent about their days, nor do you have the right to listen to them with their days. Something that's really funny that happened this week was that I have a reputation for firing clients, and I don't just fire clients because you're late. I don't fire clients because they bring their children. I fire clients for meddling and gossiping and for taking advantage of my time. I really believe that when you're self-employed, you have to charge what you're worth, and I do charge what I'm worth. There are restaurants in town and people that have design services that people say they're overcharging. They're not overcharging if you have the education and if you have the demand. I have the demand for it. I had a person that came in and made a big gossipy deal with me about 3 months ago, and then about a month ago saw him out socially, and I had approached him about this situation, and he made it incredibly uncomfortable. And this weekend he saw my friend that he was talking about, and he made it even more uncomfortable. So the decision has been made. I had to release him. Not only was he being toxic in my personal life and meddling in my business and trying to be my homie, but my client-stylist relationship with him was that. I'm not his homie. And I think he misconstrued that, and I think that he was trying to do it to be a gossip queen and feed the rumor mill. So we had to let him go, and I had to let him know that that's not going to happen. That's taking advantage of my time. That's making me look stupid. I won't allow it. I won't allow it with my friends, and if it hurts my relationships, you're going to be dismissed. I can justify it, and people who don't see it and they're going to criticize that, let them have that. I'm not worried about it. Again, consistency is key. People know that I'm very, very strict in business, but I'm very, very warm with my friends. And if you're a good, close friend of mine, I want the best for you. I'm not a jealous bone in my body. I have what I have, you have what you have, and I want you to do very well. In not so great news, my column Hot Mess officially became canceled this week by Beyond the Fold and the Pueblo Chieftain. And I think part of it was because of content and it being too big. The other being that they wanted it to be something that it's not. They wanted it to be a superficial fashion column, and that's not the point that I'm at in my life. Hot Mess has evolved from looking at looks and trends to looking at lifestyle and etiquette. And because sometimes when we see people in the way they raise their kids or the way they conduct themselves, you are a hot mess. So I thought it was fitting. They didn't feel it was fitting, and I actually didn't even receive notice except through a mutual friend that said, "I'm sorry that your column was canceled." That really blew. That wasn't very fun. There's more to come from Hot Mess. We're going to work on a book, and I'm working on other projects. But if you really like my writing, you can tune into my blog, studiojwrite.blogspot.com. You can reread the old Pretty Boy Education blogs, or you can even look for Living Fabulously, which goes in Accolades magazine every couple months. I think it comes out seasonally, and it's a motivational column for young people. That's where my life is at right now. I'm past the point of being a critique person to the point where I want to help guide and do really great things. So firing people because they're not benefiting you anymore is because I don't need any more negatives in my life. Last thing I want to talk about is that when you have people that are talking about you, or you fire people because it's a bad connection, or something ends, always remember this. You always want to surround yourself with people and things that make deposits in your life, not make withdrawals. With that said, have a great week. I love you to pieces, and www.josh-cooley.com. Love you guys.